Welcome. In this video lesson, I'm going to show you how to configure the Metasploit and start playing with the Metasploit with lot more commands. Using Metasploit and configuring according to your needs. And starting the Metasploit at first, it was a little bit difficult in the earlier version of the Metasploit. But in the latest Kali Linux rolling edition, you just need to simply click this icon, Metasploit framework, and it will configure the database and connect with them automatically. In the Kali Linux, there is a by default database is PostgreSQL. So you can either click this Metasploit framework icon or simply go to the exploitation tools and click Metasploit. It will simply create a user with the name MSF and enter the password, and it will also create a database in the Metasploit framework configuration file. And the rest of the things will be done by this automatically. So you don't need to do with this configuration. If you are going through a penetration-based engagement, you really need a database to store the vulnerability and all these scans that you needed to export in the results. So that is the reason why we create a database in the Metasploit framework. Now the database has been created and user has been added and the configuration has been all set up. Now we need to type MSF console, and it will start the Metasploit framework exploitation tool. Alright, now the Metasploit tool has been set up and up. Now you need to just play with the commands that are really needed and you can use while going through the testing and exploiting. Using this Metasploit tool is not a big deal. Simply type help and it will show you all the help commands that can be used for the exploitation and also for the exploit developments. As you can see, there is the database backend commands that can be used for the database, and this is the normal core commands while we use exploit module, load exploit module, load payloads, and set the IP address and the target host. So in this case, I will take a scenario and add a module to exploit the target. What we do generally when we go through a test and exploit a target. So at first, I will use a module that is exploit. What exploit I am going to use. So at first, I will simply type search because a lot more than 1400 exploits available in the database of Metasploit framework. So it will really be tough for me to find the exploit from all those. So I will simply type search command and use keywords, that is net API, and it will find the exploits related with the name net API. Alright, as you can see, the result have been found with the name and the keyword that I typed, that is net API. There are 4 results matching with that term. I can use anyone, but in this case I will use this exploit that is related to the XP and 2003 server exploits that exploits them. And this is the rank for the exploits that is great, means this exploit is working fine. So using this way, like type search command and use the terms and the keywords to search for a specific exploit will really help you and save you your lot of time in an engagement and the test. But there are also another options that you can find by exploits and see all the exploits. Simply type the command show and the exploits. It will show you all the exploits that is available in the database and with the Metasploit framework. By this way, you can find all these exploits. And similarly, if you want to show all the payloads, you can simply type show payloads, and it will also find the payloads that the Metasploit framework have. Well, these are the all payloads that can be used to perform desired actions after the exploits has been completed. Okay, I was taking a scenario and exploiting, setting the target, setting the payloads, setting the remote host, the IP address of the target system, and exploiting with that all. So simply I will use a exploit. To load the module and load the exploits, you need to type the command use and the exploit name. Now hit enter and this exploit will be loaded. Now if you want to show the options, see the information about the specific module and the specific exploits. As this exploit has been loaded, now I will simply type the info command and it will show all the related informations that what this exploits and what we can do and which operating systems and servers it supports to target that. So this is the list of the operating systems supported that we can target. Windows XP Service Pack 2 with the language and Windows Server 2003. And there is a description exploit says, how we can exploit, and all the related information about these exploits. Okay, the next step after the exploits has been loaded and the module exploit has been loaded, the another option and the next step to use is set payload. So in this case, I will use Windows Meterpreter reverse shell payload that gives us Meterpreter shell, because Meterpreter shell is really a powerful shell. We can do almost anything with the target system if it is successfully exploited and the payload running on the target and exploited system. So I will just type the payload name, Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP, and now the payload is set. Now you can type show options. It will show all the options that are required. As you can see, there is L host, that is local host, and this is required. This time this is vacant, and this is the requirement that it is needed to listen address and port. Port number is already set. So we need to set the L host. There are two options you can use as a set and the set G. Set G stand for global. If you are going for the penetration test, then you need to type only the set G command. It will store and save your time by not typing the IP address and the local host and the remote host again and again. So simply type set G, or if you want to type set, but the normal case is set. So you can simply type set L host and type the IP address of L host. Now for the exploit module, there is R host that is required. So I will type the remote host that I am going to target. R host, I have set R host google.com as an example. Now type show options, and there is no another requirement. So now we can just start exploitations. Before going to start and exploit the target, we are at the final stage. Now if you want to type any encoders that you can encode your payload, you can set encoders. The best encoders for the as of now is the Cicada Ganai. I generally use and personally use in a penetration test to hide the payload so that antivirus and the firewall will not be able to catch the traffic and the payload, that what it is meant for and what the file and what the traffic is going for. So now we're at this last stage. Simply I will type exploit and it will exploit the target with the options and the target parameters set by me. Simply typing exploit and hitting enter will exploit the target, and if the system and target system is vulnerable, it will start and throw me a reverse with a Meterpreter shell that is really powerful. Well, this will fail. This will not exploit Google because Google is not vulnerable with their exploits. So in this way, you can just move with and find commands for your use, because Metasploit framework is really a powerful tool to perform exploitations and also for the exploit development, exploit writing. There is a great source and the reference that I will recommend you, and you can also use is the Metasploit Unleashed, a free course provided by Offensive Security Organization and the creator of Kali Linux. Here is the Metasploit Unleashed course. You can learn development, writing exploits and vulnerability analysis, and also a lot more. You can also write a simple fuzzer for the TFTP and the IMAP mail server, client-side attacks, binary payloads, and a lot more options are available in this course. This course is complete package of Metasploit framework that you will find for yourself useful. So simply follow these links and start learning Metasploit Unleashed for better commands and better uses and exploit developments and exploit writing as well. Here you can see there is exploit development and the payload development you can use. The interesting option of the Metasploit and the interesting feature of the Metasploit framework is that you can also develop exploits and just feed up with the Metasploit framework and use it to attack the target systems. Thank you and all the best.